For Nick Stewart, the questions he was asked after a flight from Chicago to Toronto were perfectly reasonable, all on mandatory self-isolation.
Do you have a place to stay? Will you have contact with vulnerable people or anyone at all?
In Alberta, more compliance and stricter measures on the way.
It's all for our own good, so I don't have a problem.
Some aren't following the rules to self-isolate. In the first 7 weeks after the Quarantine Act was imposed, police made 2,200 home visits across the country. Only one person was fined. But as provinces reopen, even with international travel down dramatically, Alberta is going above and beyond the federal rules, forcing international travelers to submit a detailed self-isolation plan, like BC has already done, and mandatory temperature checks.
I just don't want to see those sacrifices wasted or those gains lost by not taking every necessary precaution.
Pressure is building on Ottawa as premiers anticipate the opening of the U.S. border, now set for June 22nd. Today, the Prime Minister didn't rule out tracking people's movements with monitoring devices.
We need to make sure that we have the measures in place to be able to ensure that new cases aren't arriving and spreading through the general population. We're in discussion with the provinces and territories.
A tracking band used in countries like Hong Kong doesn't appeal to BC's premier.
We've used the old telephone and knock on the door proposal. What happens after June 22nd, we don't know.
The border question is sure to come up in tomorrow's call between the Prime Minister and the premiers. They want adequate screening no matter how someone enters the country, as Ottawa tries to help all the provinces ramp up testing and tracing to keep the curve flat. Salima Shivji, CBC News, Ottawa.